Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more to the meta. Guys, I want to talk about a reason why you may be inadvertently throwing bad passes and interceptions when you made the correct read, you know exactly where you want to go, you have the correct leverage, but the ball gets misthrown. Now, guys, if you're like me, I like playing regs online. I'm not a MUT player. I do regs just because it's less time consuming and I spend more time developing schemes for my Patrons and for this channel than I do, just trying to pull cards and deal with all the nuance of MUT. So this is going to be geared towards regs, but you can carry this over to MUT. And this is going to give you some insight about why you're throwing bad passes, even though you make the right read and you make the right decision, but it's a bad pass. So one of the frustrations I've had is that I was recently working with developing my Browns playbook, and I was using essentially the Browns as my team. And what I discovered is that I was throwing a lot of just stupid interceptions. The ball would get out late, or the ball would be overthrown, or it'd be in a bad position. My wide receivers wouldn't get in the right position, even though it was my best wide receiver, which is arguably one of the better wide receivers in the game. And I couldn't figure out the reason why that was happening, and it was just a frustration on me for me, because I'm labbing, I'm trying to go ahead and develop ebooks for my patrons and stuff like that, and I'm losing downs in practice time and lab time because my basically quarterback was spraying the ball. He's throwing the ball all over the place. So one of the things you have to understand is that there is essentially a threshold that you have to meet with your accuracy, your throw accuracies, that is going to give your quarterback extremely consistent throws, where it's a noticeable difference in the game. So I'm just want to show you this. Look at where this guy is wide open. Wide open. This ball should be a dot. The ball's over here. He's over here. My guy's right here. I was having passes like this go on. I'm like going, what the hell's going on? I didn't have any pressure in my face. It was so frustrating than anything else. So I was following another YouTuber, and he basically talked about thresholds that you have to meet. And the magic number essentially is going to be basically 85. So when you're looking at your passing accuracies, and most quarterbacks have good short accuracy, so if it's under 10 yards in accuracy, you should be able to go ahead and throw those balls without any kind of issues. Majority of the quarterbacks have them, but you'll start getting down to some of the lower ranking quarterbacks, and they're not going to be able to go ahead and basically make those throws. Now, granted, we're dealing, you look at these guys, these Mahomes, these Allens, these Burrows. These guys are the top 3 quarterbacks in the game, and they meet all those thresholds. 85 across the board with short, also 85 across the board with that. But take a look at this quarterback, which is Lamar Jackson. Now, you guys are basically players that use the Ravens. You might feel a little bit differently, but look, his short accuracy is 90. He's got 87 accuracy, mid accuracy. His deep accuracy is 84. So that means he's not meeting that threshold. Now, I recently was watching another YouTuber that was using the Ravens in a play now game, and he was complaining about how his passes were constantly getting sprayed, or he was misthrowing balls and stuff like that. And he's just like, this guy I should be able to get the ball to this guy. That shouldn't, it got to a certain point where he was scared to make certain throws because because Lamar Jackson was basically throwing the ball over the place, and this other YouTuber liked to go ahead and throw long. So maybe you guys need to start paying attention to this type of stuff, especially if you like to play with your team in general. That essentially is a team that your home team, the team that you grew up, your city team, the team you support. They have to meet these thresholds. So Tua actually meets these thresholds. Aaron Rodgers, one of the last great quarterbacks, he actually meets all the thresholds just barely. You got Dak Prescott can hit those. Sleeper would be Cousins. Cousins meets all those thresholds. He's 90 plus. He's really consistent across the board. But when you take a look at Trevor Lawrence middle accuracy is actually 84. Brock Purdy, I'm probably, guys, look, 84 basically with his ability to throw deep. He probably misthrows a lot of deep passes. Same thing with Jared Goff. He misthrows a lot of deep passes. Matthew Stafford, his accuracies went down dramatically. He used to be a very accurate quarterback, but take a look at Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray basically can only throw short passes. And you look at like some of the last couple of gems in the game. You look at Geno Smith. He's probably not going to hit all the passes, but look at this guy right here, C.J. Stroud. This is a team that you want to use if you're playing like a regs tournament, and you have to play with like bad teams or bad rosters. This is a really good quarterback to use. You got 88 accuracy, 85, 85. They meet all the thresholds. So I was just like, okay, does this theory really hold true? Is this something that, you know, a quarterback that's not ranked that great, is he going to basically make all the throws? And you could feel it when you're playing the game. You know, here's my motivation factor. Look at Deshaun Watson. Basically, he's got 83, 80, 78, 82. This guy's going to miss. Basically, there's going to opportunity for him to miss every single pass, whether it's short or long. And I would see that happening when I was actually playing online or playing basically with the Browns. Is that I wasn't hitting all my passes. So as you get a little bit lower down, you're going to see that these quarterbacks don't all hit that 80, that 85 threshold. So jumped into basically a regs game, looking at the CJ Stroud, you know, team, just to see basically if he throws better than, you know, Deshaun Watson. And when I'm in the game, you could feel it. You literally could feel as you're throwing the ball was going to the places that you wanted it to go. So I'm seeing a cover 2 shell here. I'm going to try to squeeze it into the seam. I'm able to do that. Just throw it right in the seam. Get an easy completion with this throw. He's basically making all the throws that I need. He's hitting up sideline passes perfectly, where previously using Watson, I can't squeeze it into that tight little window. His wide receivers are coming down, and the wide receivers are not ranked better than the Browns wide receivers. So I'm getting all that type of good action, you know, with the quarterback. So guys, I just wanted to point this out. If you're throwing a lot of stupid interceptions and you're frustrated because it's going on, a lot of times it's just because of the quarterback that you picked or the team that you picked. It doesn't have anything to do with basically your reads or stuff like that. And that's why you probably want to go ahead and use those quarterbacks that have threshold requirements. So thanks for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. Until next time.